because I myself, I've experienced this before. I've been vulnerable with someone and the response hasn't been great. It has not been encouraging, and it's rather made me close off. You know, it's like, oh, okay, if that's how you're going to respond, I'd rather not. It's okay. I'll show myself out. My name is B. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and today you can see from the title, I'm going to be talking about vulnerability in relationships and friendships. The reason why I've created this YouTube channel is in obedience to God, and my prayer and my hope and the goal is that the conversations that I'll be having in this in the videos that I upload will encourage myself and encourage others to seek God and to find Him and to know Him and to love Him. So that is always my goal and aim and prayer. So vulnerability in relationships and friendships. The reason why I wanted to talk about this is because it's something that I myself have struggled with, and I'm learning to grow and get better at, and that is vulnerability. And just to start off, I think it will be very important to actually define what vulnerability is. And the definition I'm going to go by is, it says, open to disclosing one's inner thoughts and feelings, acting in spite of one's instinct to self-preservation. I'll just read that again. Open to disclosing one's inner thoughts and feelings. And the second one is acting in spite of one's instinct to self-preservation. So in these definitions, you can actually sense that there is a hesitation. There's actually a hesitation because of self-preservation, that you actually are worried that it will affect something about your life, about your mental state, you know, about your safety, depending on who you speak to, if you actually become vulnerable with someone. And the purpose of this conversation in this video is that first aspect, that we're disclosing our inner feelings and thoughts. So first things first, why is vulnerability important in any relationship, in romantic relationship, friendships, family relationships, whatever relationship that you can think of? And the reasons that I came up with are: one, it actually strengthens your relationship. I'm sure you would have examples of that, but in my life, definitely, I've seen that when I let my guard down and become vulnerable with a certain person or certain people, I can see that the trust definitely increases, because I can see that, oh, okay, I can be myself fully, truly, and that person will still receive me. They won't treat me any differently. They're rather helpful and comforting and encouraging with whatever information I've given them. So it definitely makes me think, oh wow, okay, this is someone that I can be myself with, and I'm safe to be around. So that's one aspect. It definitely strengthens the relationship. The other aspects, like I said before, actually, is that you feel safe. You feel like you could be your whole self. You know, you're not overthinking as to, oh, I shouldn't say this, or I shouldn't say that, or I shouldn't behave like this, or let me say this in this way, or let me present myself in this way. But it's like you're 100% authentic and comfortable with that person. Another reason why vulnerability is important is because you feel seen. You know, you whoever you speak to, and I've seen this in my own life as well, that it's so nice that when I'm vulnerable and I'm sharing something, the person understands, and it's like, oh wow, okay, they really, it's not, they don't condemn me, or they don't say, oh, it's not that big of a deal, get over it. Like, they're actually very open and willing to hear, willing to understand. Even if they don't understand, they're willing to, I've not thought about this before, can you help me understand, like, why why do you feel like that, or why did this happen? And they're open to learn. So you also feel seen. It helps them understand you better. So going on in the future, however the relationship progresses, they can understand that aspect of your thinking, of your outlook on life, and there'll be no judgment or no fear when you're around them. And the last one that I put there is increases the love. Again, it could be literally any relationships, whether it's family relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, to be able to be fully yourself and be vulnerable and share whatever you need to share and be open with that person, and that person still loves you. It doesn't change. The love or the relationship doesn't change. They don't behave in a different way now. It's so comforting and it's so reassuring. And another actually important one that I learned from the Bible as well is that vulnerability actually brings healing. The verse is James chapter 5 verse 16, and it says, "Therefore confess your sins to each other and pray for each other so that you may be healed." So there's actually healing when you open up, and that's literally an important thing. And there's certain things that I have held in the past, and it could be that there's certain things for yourself, whoever's watching this, that you feel like there's no one else that you can speak to. You have this built up tension and all these thoughts and feelings that you have, but you can't actually express them. It does weigh on you. It really does weigh on you when you don't have someone that you feel comfortable with, that you can trust, that you love, that you can share that with. So when you actually do find that person and become vulnerable, it's literally like a weight lifted off you, and there's relief and there's peace of mind. There is a sense of healing in that. So that's pretty amazing how important vulnerability can be. So setting aside, we've established the importance of vulnerability. It's very important. Helps with the relationship, strengthens the relationship in many ways, and also provides healing. Now, next question I wanted to address is why the hesitation. I'm sure we all have different reasons. And the reason that I came up with was, one, the fear of judgment. Because I've experienced this before. I've been vulnerable with someone and the response hasn't been great. It has not been encouraging, and it's rather made me close off. It's like, oh, okay, if that's how you're going to respond, I'd rather not. It's okay. I'll show myself out. So that's and it's a valid reason. It really is a valid reason, especially with that person. Again, you wouldn't feel confident again to share anything if the response is, oh, why would you think like that, or it's not that deep, get over it. Or sometimes it could even turn it around and make it about them, which is just not great. It's not necessarily like the focus, but they're not focusing. So that's one of the reasons why a lot of people hesitate. Well, I have definitely hesitated in the past. Second reason is to disregard it. Yeah, like I said, the comment of, oh, it's not that deep. Like, please, there's more stressful things in the world. Like, I have a lot more stressful things. Like, come on, that's what you're focusing on. So yeah, that's another reason why some people wouldn't actually open up. Another reason is being misunderstood. Again, the example of they turn it around and now the issue is, oh, you have an issue with them, or they make it about themselves instead of actually addressing what you're talking about, and misunderstanding you and thinking, oh, or having the wrong outlook or understanding about what your issue is, and it changes how they see you now. So that's another reason. And a last one that I've raised is, it won't be confidential. They'll say, oh no, it's just between you and me, I'm not gonna tell anyone. 2 minutes later, it's already been broadcasted. So yeah, that's also another one. So I think this leads nicely into the third point, is that how do you actually overcome that? One of the key things is First of all, remember the importance, remember the reasons, the benefits of it. As I listed, first of all, there is healing in that. It can strengthen your relationship. You feel safe, you feel seen, all these reasons. And the second one is to choose wisely who you're vulnerable with. You can't be vulnerable with everyone. You can't do that. It's not wise. And if you've been burnt before, you will know. If you haven't, this is wisdom. Don't just share with anyone, okay? Not everyone will be able to receive that, understand what you're saying, and, you know, encourage you or speak to and advise you in love, and also keep it confidential. So it's very important to choose wisely. And there's a few verses that I wanted to share just regarding this point, and one of them is Proverbs chapter 18 verse 24, and it says, "A man of many companions may come to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother." Again, a man of many companions may come to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. So it's not, you know, I've heard this a lot, that as you get older, your circle actually reduces, and you realize that, I mean, I've definitely realized it, that it's even as it reduces, the quality really does increase. It really does increase. So, you know, it's not something to aim for, to have, you know, millions and hundreds and thousands of, you know, people that you call friends. You know, you can have acquaintances, you can have you can be cordial with certain people, but someone to call a close friend, someone that, you know, you can be vulnerable with, who is there for you, who can encourage you, who can help you, who can pray for you. It's okay to have a few. It's better to have a few, it's that verse is saying, than the millions who misunderstand you, who will judge you, who will not keep it confidential. They'll share it the next point that next chance that they get. So it's very important that we actually choose wisely who we are vulnerable with. And there's another great verse that I found as well, was 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 33. I just read that. And it says, "Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good morals." So don't think, you know, don't be naive and just think everyone that is around you is, you know, has your best interest at heart. And sometimes you can also see by the way they talk, you can see by the way they walk, by the way they behave, by their lifestyle, that, you know, these are not the people that I can actually trust, that I can actually be open with, that I should even be around. So that's definitely important to note when you're actually deciding who to actually speak to. So, and I think what I've done that's worked for me, and a best way to even start to find this person, or pray to God that, you know, you don't have that close friend that Proverbs talks about, that sticks closer than a brother. You don't have that friend that when you open up to them and share your burdens and you're vulnerable with them, you are healed. You don't have that. So ask God that, as he says in his word, these are the benefits of it. Ask him that he should send those people to you. So the first thing is to ask, and also as you've prayed as well, ask God to also open your eyes to see, because, you know, he could say, "Oh, speak to this person," and you're like, "Oh, no, I don't think." So, you know, there's also obedience, discernment, to actually hear and know that God is saying speak to this person. And the second thing is obedience, to actually do it in faith that this is the person, or they could direct you to the person. So the first thing is prayer, and the second thing would be to, you know, start the friendship if it's new friendship anyway. Start the friendship, get to know the person, and you know, do a trial, as in share something that's not too heavy, but you know, that is enough, that if they do disclose it to other people, it's not going to be like you're not gonna just, oh my goodness. So just do a trial run and see, are they trustworthy? If after some time you can see that this person, the way they even responded as you shared that was encouraging, was loving, was open, and they were trying to understand you, then that's a good sign. And over time, if it's something that is ongoing, they're even checking up on you and saying, oh, you mentioned this, how are you doing, how can I help, offering to help as well. These are all great signs. And again, to even seal it with prayer, again, pray again, and that God will give you a sign and reveal to you that, this is the person, oh no, this is not the person. And there's also the last point that I wanted to raise is Ephesians 4 verse 16. And it reads, from him the whole body, joined and held together by every supporting ligament, grows and builds itself up in love as each part does its work. So another way to actually begin this journey is to join a community and start building those friendships. Again, continue in prayer, praying all the way. As you start in prayer, continue with prayer and end with prayer. That's always important, and I believe and I pray, and this is something that I have done, and I've been able to actually build great friendships and relationships in my life. So I hope this has helped anyone, and I pray that you continue in your walk with Christ, and that you will seek him continuously, and may you find him, and as you know him, may you love him. God bless you. Bye.